Okay, welcome. Happy holiday. Hope you're having some enjoyment planned for yourself today. Um, so Memorial Day is remembering, you know, I believe that those beings who sacrificed for our country, sacrificed their lives. And it always makes me a bit sad that this is what we're celebrating or remembering that we actually are going to war, that we're actually doing these things that asserting dominance when we have everything we need. So we're going to acknowledge those beings who selflessly gave their life. Some of them had no choice; they just didn't have a choice. But also, we're going to talk about Memorial Days. How about if we remember, we go through the process of remembering who and what we are? We're on a long journey for that, aren't we? Hmm. So I think who and what we are is something that we can equate to our divine gift to the world. Like, why did you come here? It's a big deal to come here. It takes a lot of energy to get here. And determination and choice and I want to say intent, perseverance, and to be here at this time, this very particular moment where we're really being called not just to live our lives, but we're being called right now to wake up. And we're not just doing it for ourselves because I'm going to tell you in different incarnations you have been awake. Even as a fundamental aspect of the divine, the one, the universal oneness, you are awake. But here in density, it's a little harder to be in touch with that all the time. So we're going to ask ourselves those questions. What is your divine gift to the world? Are you love? Is that the very nature of what you are? Are you love? And we can all say that to some degree because God is love. We have a lot of words and a lot of dances around love because, our experience of it was to be loved as an infant and to learn to love back, to be taught what love is, to be shown sometimes what love isn't, to have love romanticized, to have love be something that is an ultimatum for you to, find someone and procreate and this and that. But really, the question comes down to, are you love? Is that your essential frequency? Or are you light? They're both gorgeous and powerful. Where are you in that spectrum? Are you power? And there are beings who come here and they just have power. And with that power and alignment with the oneness, they make things happen here. They move energy. Are you power? Another question we could ask ourselves are you sentience? Are you just that universal knowingness? Are you sentience? I know. These beautiful things here are the path to our enlightenment. So, as some of you know, I'm writing a book, a year 20 spiritual hacks to enlightenment. And it's a very interesting kind of process because as I'm writing it, the universe is going, oh yeah, well, let's throw a few interesting roadblocks in your way or a few challenges, or what about this, or have you thought of that? And how about if we pile them all on you at once? Those kind of things happen when you're going in and really trying to get to the bottom. And also, I'm going to tell you that May 12th visit to the Wesock Valley, under the Scorpio full moon, it it really, if I can say this spiritually, kicked a lot of butts all around me. And I have friends who work in hospitals and they couldn't believe what was going on. Just some people just dropping dead and other people leaving through car accidents and, sudden illnesses and things like that. So sometimes these energies come in through through density. The sun, the solar flares can really affect our energetic fields. And it's a part of density, although there is a very sublime energy that comes through that sun. Um, the essence of the central spiritual sun is it's a being, it's very, very wise, but it's going through its changes as well. So this is going to be our Memorial Day, is to remember ourselves, and we're going to be led in a meditation today, by those absolutely gorgeous beings that come through, that song, that chorus of beings that comes through to give us our guidance and to allow us to take our next steps forward moment by moment. Now, I'm going to really share with you a couple things as well. So, as we've been um, exploring, enhancing our own intuition, and we've been utilizing the so no for that purpose. There is another form of intuition that can possibly be coming to you. Are you ready for this? Your 5D self. Your 5D self is already awake in the future. And that future could be tomorrow, it could be a month from now, it could be five years from now. But your 5D self is awakening, as well as your 6D love frequency, that crystalline body. So those are vibrating. And if you're getting sentences in your head that seem accurate, it could very well, it could very well be from your 5D self. And so start really paying attention to what is in here. Now, the other thing that I'm really been thinking about is the mind, and how the mind can chatter on, and it can feed us not positive statements depending on how we're feeling that day. Your mind can create emotional states, and your emotional states can create dialogue. And if you see a thought and you're like, what? You can say, you're excused now. I'm going to be choosing what comes through the mind right now. And you can do that. You can nurture yourself into becoming the observer and having the mind be relatively silent, or an advice pathway, an intuitive advice pathway. So we really want to start reeling in that mind. And if you get re-stimulated about something in your past or something that's currently happening, really do your best to reel it in. In other words, say, oh my God, I've had that thought now 7 times. That's enough. All right, you're excused. I heard you. You're excused. You may go do something creative now because we have so many different types of the brain and we have that limbic system that wants to, process things. And if we have a little chink in our limbic system, we might loop. We don't want to loop. We don't want to loop. So we say, good job, you've let me know. Now go do something creative. Okay. And I'm finding too that if I wake up in the middle of the night and start thinking about things, that what I do is like, I go, you know what, you're off duty now. So you go into the slumber state, and I'm going to meditate and go night night. So the mind is actually possibly listening to you, not you having to listen to the mind. Okay, so here's the deal. It's time to be your enlightenment. And I hope that today we really discovered kind of your path of enlightenment. Now, I'm actually feel like I've discovered mine, at least for the moment, and that is to be love. And it is working miracles, I have to say, in more ways than one. And I'm asking for the miracles, actually. I'm like, well, hey, come on, show me some miracles. And, something will happen and I'll hear this voice go, miracle. And I go, well, you're actually right. That was a little mini miracle. Thank you. I like it. So, um, sometimes getting that front parking space is one of my little mini miracles. But here's what we really need. Here's our path from today forward. Be your enlightenment. And are you love? So be love, be love, be love, be love. Be gorgeous love. Be frequency love. Be field of love. And yes, you will find yourself loving others and just be love. And in this little book I'm writing, I'm talking to a lot about tennis because this is where I hang out, where things are more dense than any other part of my life, generally speaking. And so I'm doing all these experiments on the tennis court, and as a result, I'm much more present and I'm playing way better. And I've gotten a lot of the stress out of my life from this whole process. And then I'm going, well, I'm going to be a field of love and I'm including my partner in it. Well, my partner is just done his whole turnaround. I mean, everything she says to me is so positive now. And as I was leaving the court yesterday, all because there's four of us that play, all three of them turned to me and they said, you are playing so well. Wow. What are you doing? Sleeping better? I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. I'm sleeping better. But you're going to see if you can really embrace this emanation today that we're exploring, you're going to see changes, not only in you, but in your environment and the people around you. They're going to notice and they're going to step in. And especially sometimes on the tennis field, on my half, I visualize that 6D grid. We're kind of seeing it here in the background a little bit, that 6D grid, and that I'm flowing love on that grid. And my partner's standing right over there. She's getting it. And she's making the awesome shots. Way to go. So you can have fun with it. And also I go, it's okay if they win a little bit, and I want it all to be fair. So I don't have to win all the time. But in other words, you can have fun with this. Okay. Okay. All y'all be power, you know, be power. If that is your call to be power and to in that field, have an intention, blah, or have someone else be empowered, or to be able to send your frequency out to the, do it. Okay. But you have to have the call, and it can never be power over. It has to be power from within. And that power from within can really be a very big testing ground. Mm-hmm. It can really catapult you forward into things, but you've got to be able to you got to be able to swing with it, you know, from the treetops. Um, be light. Okay, be light. Are you the light? Are you the light? Does the light come through you and lighten everything in the room? Do people feel like this around you? Okay, be light. And the other one is be sentience, and it's just that deep knowingness. It's just that energy that just comes in and in like this. And it's just, and it's this, it's the know, it's the divine knowingness. It is the universal knowingness that is able to come through. Now, is it possible that you have several pathways to your enlightenment through this? Yeah, that's for you to find out. But when you really get like hooked onto one, when you really get it, you go, yes. And you, the times when it's the hardest is when you really stop and be it, you know. And I'm writing about this and I just go, you know, you're feeling that resonation of challenge. It could be, you know, fear, it could be anger, it could be the unknown, it could be absolute stress out, it could be deep set, it could be any of those. And you take a moment and maybe you stand in the middle of your kitchen or you look out, you know, into your backyard or whatever, and you stand there and you just go, and you just shift to that. And then you say, yes. Okay, good. Yeah. And you be it on the quantum. You be it on the quantum. Just let it move out to exactly where it needs to move. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, you know, the message is just be that, and there 5D will be. In other words, this, as you do this, this will be uh, we'll call it a strange attractor. That's the physics term for this 5D frequency to be able to pop through, because that's what it's waiting for. That's what it's waiting for. And as that happens, you know, P.S. expect miracles. Yeah. So I wanted to give you the run through, and then we're just going to do some inner work here on the quantum. And just super happy y'all showed up today. Uh, 'Cause Mondays are a holiday for me anyway, and my semi-retirement. So here we are. Here we are. And let's expect a miracle right here, right now. Okay. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. And first thing, just embrace who you are, you delicious beings. I mean that. Just embrace who you are. Just go, yeah. And you're allowed to say, I rock. Mm-hmm. Because we're doing it with a sense of wonder and a sense of fun. And say, love, love, love. Mm-hmm. Let that filter out through through the density and even our dream state has density to it. So just filter it through all of that. That just love, love, love. Blessed be love, love, love. Hmm. And then and then just bring it into yourself. And this might be a good moment to kind of give yourself that cross over the heart hug. Mhm. And I even like a little jiggle here, a little jiggle and a nod. So I'm going to say you are, and you're going to say I am back. And you're going to see how that feels. Okay. All right, here we go. Embracing yourself. You are love. You are love. You are love. Take that in and move with it. And allow that declaration to settle if it need be. Nod at it. Uh-huh. And now I say, you are light. My hands reach up to the heavens. You are light. You say, I am light. You are light. I am light. You are light. And if you're really trying that on and it's really happening for you, either one of those, you stay with that, okay? You really stay with it. And for anybody else, you are power. You are power. My palms face out to you. You are power. And then I say as an aside, use it wisely. You are power. And then You are sentience, all knowingness. You are sentience. You are sentience. Allowing that possibility to just shift its way into your core essence. Now, holding yourself true in these vibrations, in these pathways to your enlightenment, know that many paths lead to the source of all. And you may be called to traverse more than one pathway. But the key here is to be that path, be that frequency. And that, beautiful beings, takes awareness, observation, and practice. And now, in this moment on the quantum, we sit in the collective of who and what our paths are, who and what we are in our enlightenment. And collectively, we create this gorgeous field. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And we feed it with our resolve to dissolve all density frequencies that are not aligned with the highest and truest self. Mm. And what unites us all together is love, 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 as a spiral. As a spiral, just moving in this gorgeous way. And we are the spiral. Collectively, we are helping each other. This would be way more difficult to do on our own. So, the collective of our frequencies and our intent to awaken and our commitment to the path and to resolve the past and any karma that might bind us to the 3D world. And we can best accomplish this by being that love, light, power, sentience. Be that. Be that. And we align ourselves now, not as a circle, a finite circle, but an infinite spiral. This is how we gather. This is how we move. This is how we shake it out. And now we're being asked collectively as that spiral to, to actually spiral up dimensionally. Good. Easy. Good job. Mm. Now, in our beautiful spiral, be that. Be that. Mm. Mm. Mhm. Our spiral doth sparkle. It's very gorgeous, very crystalline, it's very alive. It is encompassing all of those four aspects. Hmm. Hmm. Beautiful. And they invite us up one more notch if we would be so kind. Just one more notch. Up, up, up. And they're giving me a little affirmation for us to say when we remember the beginning of the day. And you just say, okay, I'm sparkling up for the day. Meaning setting that intention to be that spiral of love, light, power, and or sentience. Sparkle up, sparkle up. Mm. Okay. Yummy. Mm-hmm. So I'm being guided. First of all, I'm going to say namaste to all of you who will join us um, in the future of 5D, right here, right now. Have a gorgeous, beautiful day.